I know everybody's like, oh, I got to turn around. So we're doing this a little bit different, so I apologize for you, of those of you with your back to me. But we're doing something a little bit different today, and I apologize. We're kind of running around because we're trying to do live stream. We're trying to do something new and exciting. And of course, you know, when you pilot something like that, there's all kinds of stuff that you don't realize is happening. So we are going to, at the very least, record this and put it up. So we do have a YouTube channel now so that people can go back and view this later. So if you know somebody who's on live stream, because unfortunately our CalHR partners are here, so we can't send an email out to the listserv. So if you know anybody who's on live stream, text them or email them really quick and say, we apologize. We'll send out an email later on today and let everybody know. And I did put down that we were piloting this, so hopefully everybody will be forgiving for our first time. So anyway, welcome. And let me just double check. Nate, are we good for recording? Okay, thank you. I feel so official. I've got a sound team in the back videoing us. So just real quick, for the people that are coming up to speak today, if you'll please stay behind this black line, because otherwise you'll get feedback because there's a speaker right here. So I know especially John and I like to move around. Yeah, so we have to move around like this. So you'll have to do your best MC Hammer. Okay. Yeah, who's that? Yeah, I guess I have to be careful about dating myself there. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Courtney Payton, and I am the chair of CNLP. Welcome. We have a huge group, and I know there's some people sitting on the sidelines, and we'll have you join these larger groups after the first 45 minutes or so. We did this format a little bit different because we wanted you guys to be able to kind of interact with each other and network and kind of get to know other people, as well as sometimes it's, you know, kind of boring sitting there listening to 4 different presentations. So this was a way to really kind of interact with the presenters. We also put in a few more networking breaks because that was something else that we heard feedback on, that you guys really enjoy talking to each other, which is what this is all about. So we put a few more networking breaks in for you guys, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. Coffee is coming. It's actually brewing, so we have fresh coffee coming, so hang tight for that. And bathrooms. Kathleen, they're just down the hall, correct? Yeah, the way you came in on the left, that's also the exit route, so in the event of an emergency, I always like to make sure people know that. I think my BERT team would be very happy that I did that. Anyway, so welcome. And so how today will work, we'll do some announcements through different people. There's actually a couple different people here to announce a few things. Then we'll have the special interest group updates. And then John will come up from CalHR and do an update from CalHR. Then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back. And how we're going to work today is the table that you're sitting at will be the table that you're at pretty much for the entire morning. We're actually going to have the presenters move. So they will come to your table. So you're going to have 4 different presentations today from 4 different groups. From 4 different presenters. And then you'll be able to kind of stay where you're at and get your notes and have your coffee and do all of that. And that way we don't have however many people are here, which as of yesterday, we had 130 people signed up. So I was like, okay, what are we going to do? So that's what we came up with. So make yourself comfortable. And those of you that are sitting on the sidelines, we'll kind of integrate you here in a little bit so that you can participate in those breakout sessions. All right. So a couple of announcements from CNLP. The next forum is December 3rd, for those of you that don't have that on the calendar yet. And it is at CalPERS. And we will be covering accessibility for training. Yes, so we're going to have a few people presenting, namely Department of Rehabilitation is going to come out and talk to you about some of the resources that they have. Also, Don Glore, and I don't know if he's here right now, but he's going to, hi Don. He's going to come and talk about some of the accessibility training that they have at CDT. So we've got, and then we're looking for some other presenters as well. And so that being said, if you have anything that you're currently using, like for example, if you're using something for color contrast editing and things like that, please come see one of us on the board. Is this working still? Okay. Oh, did you just turn me down? Okay. Because I was really loud. I don't need a microphone in real life, but anyway, so you can have, so if you have something that you're using, please come see us, because we would love to share that with the group. Everybody's trying to get ahead of the ball game as far as obviously anything public facing. You have to have that, but we're trying to, I think a lot of departments are trying to get ahead of the game with their training information for their internal facing stuff. So bless you. Also, later this week, you're through the listserv, so please make sure you're part of that listserv. We're going to be sending out a survey, and it's a different survey than what we do for these. It's actually a survey, it's a needs assessment. So we want to find out, what do you want to see presented next year, as well as we're trying to get a demographic of who CNLP is. I don't know that we've ever done that. And so we kind of want to see, obviously it's the learning and development community, but that's expanded quite a bit. There's many of us that are in workforce planning now that dovetails into learning and development. We also want to know, at what level are you at? Are you manager? Are you making decisions? Are you by yourself? Are you more, do you facilitate, or do you mostly do instructional design? Those kinds of things. So we're going to be sending that out sometime this week. So keep a lookout for that as well. And I think that's it for CNLP. Victoria, is there anything that I missed? Okay. She's like, I don't know. I'm moving chairs around, so I have no idea. All right, so we have a couple of speakers this morning to come up and just share a couple of things with you. So the first one is Jonathan Calabretta, and he's from CalHR. And for those of you that don't know this, and this is why we have him here, he actually oversees the HR credentialing program. So he's going to talk to you all a little bit about that and what he has to offer as far as credentialing and also when that's coming up. All right, so hang tight.
Thank you so much. Good morning, CNLP. Good morning. And from the back, good morning. Good morning. Thank you. I don't like to sit down, so I apologize for being the hovering person in the room. So as you said, I'm the HR Credentialing Program Manager. But before I talk about that program, I have to talk about my other programs because I don't get a lot of opportunities to speak about them, and they're part of your voluntary benefit program as a state employee. So I oversee the Merit Award Program as well, which is your employee suggestion program, which is your only opportunity to get a $50,000 to $50,000 cash bonus for having a great idea of making the state a safer or more streamlined place. So check that out because every state employee qualifies for that. $50,000, come on now. Rare is the opportunity to talk about a cash bonus in state service. I also oversee the Superior Accomplishment and Sustained Superior Accomplishment Award Program within that Merit Award Program. For those of you at DMV, that's your Employee of the Month program. At different departments, they call it different things, but that's where you get a $50 to $250 cash bonus for doing a great job for doing your job very well. So that's pretty cool. More cash. Those are my cash bonus options. The Medal of Valor, the Governor's State Employee Medal of Valor, is a program you may not have heard of. But if you have a colleague that, did something amazing that you talk about at the water cooler, you're like, wow, did you hear what happened this weekend with John? He did like a really great thing, saved some kid's life while he was on vacation. That's the type of story we're looking for in support of the Governor's State Employee Medal of Valor. So that's an annual event that we have in May. The program I oversee that you actually heard of the most is your 25-year State Service and Retirement Award Program. I field all of your complaints. Which has not been many, thank goodness. But we currently have 2 vendors for that. And if you are achieving your 25 years of service, thank you. And if you're retiring with your 25 years of service, thank you as well. So about the HR credentialing program, which is why I'm really here to talk, we are now accepting applications for our winter 2020 exam session. And so what happens is it's a 3-hour exam block where you take an exam based on one of 8 different credentials. I have to read them because I forget which ones they are. So civil rights and equal employment opportunity, classification and compensation, employee performance management, health and safety, labor relations, recruitment and selection, training and development, and workforce and succession planning. So if you've achieved 3 years of service working for the state in one of those subject matter areas, you can test in that subject matter area. You can test in any of the other 7 subject matter areas as well. And you sit down for a 3-hour exam. It's a multiple choice exam that subject matter experts created as a consequence of the civil service improvement initiatives that GovOps gave us a few years ago. And we've had over 600 certificates awarded since its inception a couple of years ago. And you find out a few months later whether you've passed the test or not. And it's similar to the SHRM certification process, except we don't provide any preparation materials whatsoever. But it's also free. So what's really great about this is it highlights the expertise a state employee has to have to function in those critical credentialing critical areas of HR and civil rights and labor relations, and is a way to ensure journeymen in the SSA kind of promotional status can differentiate their expertise. So if you're looking to build your resume in a way that demonstrates that you have expertise that CalHR and the state recognize as a great opportunity or as valuable, then please sign up for these exams. You submit your standard 678 to me via email. Remember to not put your social security number on that, please. Cannot accept it otherwise. Or if you're a hiring manager looking for the next person to hire into your community, there's a workforce planning credential. Ask them if they've taken the exam. Hopefully they're highlighting they've passed the exam on their application. And know that it's a rigorous credential to achieve. Again, we're strictly providing an assessment of where they are in their career, whether they've successfully garnered the knowledge to pass this credential or not. So, without any support. Do I have time for questions or any questions about the program? Again, the application deadline is in December. We're doing an exam session in January. You take 3 hours to sit down for the exam. You take as much time as you need. It's 100, or up to the 3 hours. It's a 100-question exam-ish, multiple choice, and it's pretty tough, but it's worthwhile. Go ahead.
Not a question, but a comment. It's not that tough. If you are a seasoned learning and development professional, you will do just fine.
Anyone else pass an exam in the room? I got one other. Hold on, this is good. Has anyone else passed the exams? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got some credential holders in the room, so if you don't want to talk to me, you can talk to them about their experience. They had a positive experience, which is great. Very happy for that. I had a question in the back, I think. The question was whether it's a rating, like an A, B, C, D, F, or a pass or fail. It is a pass or fail. One of the things that we get pushback on is we don't tell you what you failed on. Because we invite you to take the exam again if you did not succeed the first or second time or third time, because we want that opportunity for you to reflect on the questions that might have been hard for you. Another question. The question was whether or not it's your second year with the state and whether you can or cannot take the exam as a consequence. No, the only criteria for applying for the exam is to have 3 years of state service in one of the subject matter areas. So that early in their career SSA, you'll want to encourage them in their 3rd year, maybe within their individual development plan, to say this would be a great opportunity to challenge yourself. Any other questions? That was great.
Do the results go back to the employee or to the supervisor?
Do the results go back to the employee or the supervisor? You let your employer know that you're taking the exam because you're taking state time to do the exam. We only tell the employee whether they passed or failed. We do alert the executive of the department and the personnel officer the names of the individuals who have passed because we have a ceremony celebrating those individuals, so they may be able to figure it out. But that becomes an opportunity for more training, right? To say, you know what, I took this credential, I didn't pass the first time, I want to do it again. Let me talk to CalHR about some other trainings that might be helpful for me to attain that credential in the future. Question in the back?
Yeah, I didn't quite capture all the areas. If I have other colleagues that I think might be interested, where can I
Excellent. The CalHR webpage for the HR credentialing program is most easily accessed through, no, we just goes right to it. You'll have to search CalHR State HR Credentialing Program. That'd be the easiest way to find our URL. Otherwise, it's a very long, attractive URL with some hyphens. Question up front.
Do you require your supervisor or manager's approval to participate?
Do we require supervisor manager approval to participate? We don't. You'd have a conversation about taking the. It's state time that we expect individuals to be using to take the exam. So you'd be asking permission to use that 3 hours or 3 hours plus travel time for each exam from your supervisor. So.
That's if you wanted to use state time. If you did not have the support of your superiors, could you use your own time? I'm saying you would
Great.
actually have to get their approval.
Part two of the question is whether or not you can take personal time to do the exams. We do not require your employer, your supervisor's approval to enroll in the examination process. So you can submit your standard 678 without notifying your manager or supervisor, and if you qualify to participate, we'll let you know. And then as far as what allows you to get there, time-wise, that's not a question I ask. I don't know if my colleagues from CalHR are excited to hear that. But if people finish the exam early, I also don't ask them like where they're going, because
But you do require Starbucks if they are going to Starbucks.
actually there's no food or beverage allowed in the computer room, and I don't take bribes.
Oh, good answer.
Thank you.
Jonathan, yep. Thank you.
I think that's all the time I have. I'll be here for, right? Please. She's like, I'm going to get closer and closer to this kid.
Right.
I don't often get a microphone, so I take it as long as I possibly can. And it's one of the few times people listen to me. I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, so like imagine the rest of my day is just not being heard.
Thank you so much.
Do want me
Thank
to
you.
stay and hover, or
It's, you don't have to.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah. And just so you know, I will, we'll send out a follow-up with Jonathan's contact information and the website so that you guys can access that as well a little bit easier. Okay. Same with the next presenter, which is Josh Hinkle from State Fund. He has a unique opportunity. He actually sent it out via the listserv, I think, a week ago or so. But I wanted to give him just a moment to talk about an HR summit that they have coming up at their beautiful facility in Vacaville. Do not let it hinder you that it's in Vacaville, because I'm telling you this, if you haven't been to that facility, it is gorgeous, and Vacaville has really good places to eat. Okay, hold on.
Well, okay, I think I'm done. Thank you. Yes, I did send this out by the listserv, but I think I totally messed it up because it came out like a hot mess. So here's what I'm doing. State Fund is sponsoring an HR summit for state workers. It is free. It is October 9th and 10th. Registration is required, and the deadline is next Monday, the 23rd. So you'll want to get on that. I have a nice postcard over here. I'll be presenting at one of the tables, so I'll hand them all out if you want them. Just ask. What we're doing, though, is it's an opportunity for like-minded HR folks. So it's not just trainers, but just any HR state workers to come together and talk about people-oriented stuff that HR is all hopped up about. So, like identifying and developing high-potential employees is one example of a topic we're going to be discussing. And we will have top-notch trainers coming in from the outside, non-state workers, but they'll be coming in to train and give us an opportunity to talk together about it. Other topics include innovation, succession planning, and how to recruit using diversity and inclusion and culture. The brain science of leadership is another topic. So there's a variety of subjects that are going to be covered. They're on this card as well, along with the website to access. I should say, we are a part of a national organization, and so we are inviting folks from other workers' comp carriers across the nation. That's what it says ASCIF on it. That's what that conference is all about. So there will be folks from Washington and Kentucky and North Dakota and Louisiana who will also be there to interact with anybody who would like to attend. So, did I mention it was free? I did? Okay. It's free to state workers. So, and registration is required. Are there any questions? Yeah. If they can't attend both, can they attend one? I would say yes. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes. Register, and we'll figure out what to do with you. We have spots available, but the 23rd is the deadline, and after that, we can't accept more. We will be covering food, breakfast and lunch. It's a nice place, Vacaville. It is a nice place to eat. We do have food that you can eat during the conference, and dinner is on your own. So you just have to get to Vacaville. It's free. Any other questions? All right. Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. It's at no cost to you, except to get there. Ask your leader, though, or ask whoever you need to ask, but you can go. All right. Good?
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Josh is actually one of our presenters today as well, but he actually opened it up for me just to say one other quick announcement, and this came up from the last forum, a question that was asked, and I talked with CalHR about this. I wanted to make sure everybody in here knows that some of what we cover in either the CNLP forums and or the special interest groups, or if some of you are a part of OD4 California, those can count towards the biennial 20 hours of leadership training, as long as your manager approves that. I see a lot of like, oh, so this HR summit, I think potentially most, if not all of it, would probably also qualify. So I just wanted to put that out there as something that came up, and we kind of talked about it. And as long as it's approved and it's within, meets those guidelines set by CalHR, some of what is being offered is available to use for that. Cool? All right. So without further ado, John Sanborn. Oh no, we're doing SIG updates. Sorry. It's been a long morning. All right, so we're going to do the special interest group updates, and I'm actually going to update on the LMS special interest group real quick because they are unable to be here this morning. So the next LMS special interest group will be held on October 30th at CCC near Richards Boulevard. They'll send information out. If you are not part of the LMS special interest group and you would like to be, please let us know and we'll get you on that list. The meeting announcement will be sent out the first week of October, and they're going to be discussing the procurement process and best practices for implementation. All right, any questions on that? Good, because that's all the information I have. So, TS, do you want to come up and talk a little bit about the leadership special interest group?
Thank you, Courtney. Good morning, everyone. I'm T.S. Hamilton. I'm the Learning and Development Manager at CalSTRS, and also have the pleasure of leading the Leadership Development SIG. I'll keep it brief. I do want to mention last quarter's meeting. We did some great work around harassment prevention for leaders, and I know recently AB 434. Anybody get on their legislation following? No? Okay, so basically they updated what used to be 1825, now it's 434, and basically all employees, not just leaders, now need to do their harassment prevention training within 6 months, and then every 2 years after that, and the time, I think 434 was meant to shore up. Was it 778? Thank you. Yes, that's right, 434 was before that. Now we have 778, which was ultimately the extension to all that, ironing out all the timelines. Thank you very much for my wonderful Cal HR folks over there. So we did a lot of great work around that, and if you feel like 778 has put you in a bit of a bind, feel free to reach out to myself, or actually the Cal HR online forum has all of our work out there loaded up as well. So check out the online forum. Coming up in October, and everybody's up here looking at their phones, but I'm in like a dead spot or something with mine, so I can't get to the information. Nice. That's why you're wonderful, Courtney. So it's next month is our next meeting. I think it's like October 17th. And we tentatively have Holly Burkett. She's a foremost authority trainer in the learning and development world, and she's going to come talk about kind of innovative leadership practices. And so we're really excited. We're still kind of hammering out the details there, but she's excited to come interact with the group. And then kind of her goal is to put those out there, and then all of our training officers to go back to the rest of their state agencies and spread that information as well. So she feels like she's definitely struck upon a great conduit for all of that. So I think that's all for the leadership development special interest group. If you're interested, you can hit up any one of the board members. You can reach out to me as well, and I'll add you to the distribution list. But are there any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, T.S. Appreciate that. All right, so then we have the e-learning special interest group, and I'm going to invite Scott Nipper up, who oversees that. They're actually meeting monthly now and doing some pretty incredible stuff, so I'll give him a moment to share with you when the next one is and updates.
Great, thanks, Courtney.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Nipper, and I am chairing the e-learning SIG. And I just see somebody I haven't seen in years sitting right over here. We are meeting this Friday, so we do meet monthly, and we're meeting this Friday at we're meeting now at 10,000 Gothe Parkway. If I didn't pronounce that right, Gothe, you know what I'm talking about, right? And this Friday, the subject is building a e-learning interface. And we're also going to have breakout sessions on triggers and variables for the e-learning development software that you use, whether it be Storyline or Captivate. Next month, we're meeting same location. I can't remember the date. I think it's the third Friday. And then again in November, we'll be taking December off. And right now I've got about 60 people on my distribution list. And so if you're not on that list, let me know. My email is scott.nipper@calhr.ca.gov. And be happy to put you on there. Love to have you there. It's an exciting group. Last month we learned about accessibility, 508 compliance, and it was very informative. I think we have that topic coming up here in a forum later on this year. Absolutely appropriate for this time for us, as we all know. We just found out about the extension and the 508 compliance that's required for our websites, but it's also true for e-learning as well, and it's very important that our e-learning be developed with 508 guidelines in place. So that's basically it. We meet every month. It's on a Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon over in Gady. And love to have you there. It's a wonderful facility over there, CDCR facility, their training center. And if you're interested, email me. And I guess that's it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott. So last and certainly not least, we have Darlene. I saw you over there. I was like, where is she? Where is she? Come on up. So we have a somewhat new special interest group. It's not really new. It just didn't have a lead, and they weren't meeting regularly. But Darlene Eaton from FTB is helping out with this, as well as Marlene, Maureen. Who's one of our board members. I'm sorry, you guys. Anyway, Darlene's actually heading this up. We're super excited about this, and this is for staff development. So definitely partnering quite a bit with some of the similar information as what we do in workforce planning. And so I'm going to turn it over, and you can kind of talk a little bit about what you guys are doing. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Yay, I love that response. I'm so super excited about having this opportunity to help launch the staff development SIG. As you know, Maureen White has mentioned it a few times about getting it going, and I think she's even had a sign-up sheet that a lot of you have already signed up and expressing your interest in being a part of this group. And I am looking also for a co-lead. So if there's anyone out there who's looking for this amazing opportunity to help really get this SIG up and running, this would be it. You may or may not be aware that the Franchise Tax Board is located in Rancho Cordova, which can be a drive for a lot of individuals to make. And so if there's a co-lead who is located somewhere more in the general midtown, downtown area, and your facility may be open to hosting an occasional meeting there, that would be awesome. So we could kind of springboard between Franchise Tax Board and that other location so that individuals have a better opportunity to attend the SIG. So staff development, some of the topics that we will be exploring and unpacking are related to effective career planning and management in state service, looking at unpacking the trends and best practices in staff development, also looking at really developing what it looks like for those in the upward mobility program to make that leap and that career transition to a new career pathway. We're going to be looking at how we can create those effective developmental experiences for individuals who are aspiring leaders, as well as individuals who are analysts and want to really look at how can they take their analytical skills into the next level through applying effective learning and knowledge retention practices. So if some of those topics sound appealing to you, or something you'd like to be a part of exploring and diving deeper into, please consider adding your name to this sign-up sheet that I'll place on the back table. You can also email me or contact me by phone for questions or comments or ideas, because this is really the start of something new. And how exciting is it to be at the launch of something that you can be a part of and that you can contribute your ideas to developing. So in terms of your own career development and enhancement, it's a great opportunity. So please consider signing up for the Staff Development SIG. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so we're back on time. Perfect. So John, I have you up next. So we're gonna go through the CalHR updates, and then we'll take a networking break and come back and we'll do our breakout sessions. So John, you ready? All right. And here's your clicker.
I've got a clicker for my one slide.
Well, you know.
Thank you very much, Courtney. Let's give a round of appreciation for Courtney and the CNLP board. Thank you very much, Courtney. This is always putting on a great show. I get excited every time I get the opportunity to come out here and see what's going on today. Most certainly looks like it's going to be a great event, so thank you very much. I also want to appreciate Kathleen Newman. Is she still in here? Kathleen Newman from Covered, California. She's got a beautiful space here, Kathleen. Thank you so much for allowing us to use this so we can get together and share some of the wonderful things that are happening out in the community. Now, I've just got a few announcements today. I want to be quick because I want to get into the event today. And I'm going to bring our talent operations manager up here as well. But one thing I do want to share, and this is relatively exciting for us at CalHR, but hopefully statewide, is that we are starting the foundation of a new HR Academy. Now, you might be familiar with a couple of the other academies we have in place, such as the Lean Academy and the Leadership Academy. We do have our learning architect, our program manager, Nathan Parker, here today, who has built and helped create a really great program in partnership with you, the state employees. But our new HR Academy consists of some of the other interesting elements that we have at CalHR that haven't necessarily been a part of the talent development purview. Something like selection cohort training, HR liaison training. These were other smaller units that were part of CalHR, but we're looking for more consistency, and we really want to come after the HR professional, not just the technician and the leader, but the professional holistically. So right now we're at the very initial phase. I'm always reminded that, well, John, it's not really an HR academy, it's a selection academy. Well, everything has its start, just like Lean White Belt, just like manager development program. One program that built into something that was great. So we're really excited to start the foundational elements for that. And with that said, we are looking for a special someone to help us lead this academy. So we do have a current position open for an SSM2 supervisor. Final filing date is the 20th of this month. So take a look at that. Hopefully we get some great talent applying for that, but we'd love to help build this HR Academy, but also to continue the wonderful works that our department has done in partnership with you and GovOps in the Lean Academy space. So thank you very much for that. Liam, I do want to bring you up here to talk about a few more things that might be relatively interesting to you in the space of the programs that we have in place. Liam Williams?
Good morning, everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Liam Williams. As John mentioned, I'm the operations manager at CalHR's Train Center. A couple things I want to talk about. Our supervisor development programs rolling. We're offering a lot of them. I know capacity is kind of tight. I'll get to that in a minute on us posting more. For those departments that do want to offer the training, I know I've been working with some on the Memorandum of Understanding. There's a little delay on. We tweaked some of the language from last time we talked. I'll be trying to send the 8 departments or so that's reached out to us. I'll be trying to send those back out to you today, and we can start the approval process. But please, and by all means, don't let that slow down the progress for your departments teaching them. And then I also want to give you an update on CalHR and our learning management system. This is going to affect you in the training world as far as the training coordinators and your employees that book training through us. Our registration system will be switching. We're hoping around November timeframe, November, December. We're going to do a soft launch, maybe about 5 to 10 of our courses. When you go to register form, will be redirected to our instance of Blackboard for registration. We'll work out any kinks, and then we'll migrate our full catalog. What that's doing, though, is slowing down what we're posting on our catalog right now. A lot of our courses are filling up, and we can't post too many too far in the future because of that switch in our registration system. So please be aware if you see courses full, again, like the supervisor development program, stuff like that, we are going to be putting more on. We have them scheduled in our books. We just can't put them on there because we're trying to get that timing for the switch to our learning management system. That's my updates. Anyone got any questions as far as either of those go? No, not you, Nate. Yeah, what Nate was saying, so part of, if you do want to teach the supervisor development program in-house, CalHR will provide the curriculum in electronic format for you. We also ask that your facilitators, whatever portion of that training, whether it be all of it or several modules, observe CalHR taught facilitation, and we'll also offer up any kind of page turners walkthrough to help get your department up to speed as far as delivering that training. The MOU portion is just that formality, just saying that you'll provide the training just to your employees and a few other stipulations, but nothing substantial. No cost to you to teach the training yourselves. We're not charging anything for that. Just your time and effort.
Do we have any other questions about what was discussed today, or anything at all? Yes.
For that HR Academy that you talked about, I know you were saying that it's a slower rollout, and what you're starting right now, what's your vision for it?
That's a great question. So the question was, what is the vision for the HR Academy? Right now is to most certainly take some of the wonderful elements that we have at CalHR, and some of the great programs are out in the state, and kind of bundle them into a foundational program that arms not just the technician, but also the leader with essential skills so that they're most efficient in the role that they're providing. So we're taking a look at quite a few different things. I know that we have an HR credentialing program. If we take a look at how that's laid out and how that is rolled out for the HR professional, how can we create a career pathway for the HR chief or the HR leader in that space, or even for the professional in general. So the vision is to most certainly have some foundational elements, much like we tackled with our Leadership Academy. And most certainly there are mandates that are around the HR programming to get them on the same plateau and have a level of consistency with them is something that's also going to be in our purview. Great question, thank you. Any other questions? Wow, okay. Yeah. All right, so Liam and I will most certainly be here for the rest of the event today. If you do have any questions or want any one-on-one conversations, we'll be in the back of the room. Happy to engage with you on any topics that you wish to discuss. Courtney, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, John. Thank you, Liam. Thank you. All right, so we did learn, by the way, that the YouTube channel is working, so we are streaming live, so welcome those that are with us virtually. So we're a little bit early, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little bit of time, extra time for networking. And so coffee is hot and ready over there. We will, for those of you that are on the sidelines here, if you're staying for the entire event, go ahead and bring your chair up to one of the tables. And it's going to be a little crowded, and that's okay. We'll get to know each other really well today. And then at 10 o'clock, pretty promptly, because we want to make sure we have kind of 25-minute sessions, we're going to start the breakout sessions with each individual presenter. So we have 4 presenters here today. So we have CalPERS, which can you raise your hand if you're perfect right there? Thank you for coming. And then we have State Fund, so Josh is going to be up here. Over here we have TS from CalSTRS. And then at the back table near sign-in is going to be EDD. So who's it? Karen? Oh, you guys are there. You guys will be over there. Perfect. So again, this was designed to kind of be somewhat informal. There's not, they didn't bring huge presentations necessarily. They really just want to have a great conversation with you, be able to answer questions. There's also varying levels of the emerging leader programs that they have. So some of them are very, detailed out, and some of them are like, here's kind of what we have. So we did that on purpose because we wanted you to be able to kind of see what you could do. All right? So go ahead. Go on break. There's treats and all that over there. Make sure you find a table to be at. We'd like to keep them somewhat even. So if there's a ton at one table, maybe move to the next. You will get to we will see all 4 presentations today. Thank you all so much.